I just wanted to say, as of writing this April 22nd, 2024, the support on my Patreon has been amazing. We're slowly closing in on the channel being 100% fan funded. Thank you all so much. They really are adding gravity to things that don't normally get much attention, like now this guy's earrings. This totally sick looking slow down and sudden stop. I said it in the last video and I'm gonna say it again. The fact that he decided to come down and also fight still blows my mind. That had never normally happened in anime. He could well be the strongest foe I'm guessing our True will have to tackle yet. To be so confident, you can attack me for 5 minutes and I won't attack or defend myself is nuts! Obviously it's not gonna work, but it did look super cool. Good voice acting too. 2 wins, Nami caring so much about the KO'd Usopp being kicked, and also me caring so much about it at the same time. Legit made me angry, as though he isn't hurt enough already. Oh, that's so much worse! Clearly Oda is a legend for making me care so deeply. As annoying as they are, it does get a win for displaying once more how many different kinds of dial weapons there are. I did think it was more of a silly gag when he said he had a fart weapon, but in fairness they're using it with the flames to create an explosive, so anything but silly. This old man being a legend still as he dodges the explosion and makes his way back onto the boat looking cool as hell. Easily scoring another for that. In spite of being injured, he packs a big punch and rightly so. Dude is powerful and was a god up there for many years. Brilliant too that Nami should score her own hit during the fight and knock the other one off. I really hope the animals in this anime will continue to be so lovely and helpful a lot of the time, already filling me with fond memories of Alabasta. Also example of Nami totally using her noggin to figure this stuff out so she knows what weapon he's coming at her with. Great follow-up! She continues to use her weapons, plus his own against him in a very quickly thought-out plan. What? She can have 2 max wins for being able to finish her battle in style. She so rarely gets the limelight in battles, so when it does happen, and it's really cool, she gets those wins. This reaction to having used the glove, but it's also good because it tells us what it's like to use even a normal impact dial. So that super powerful one, imagine that! Thought she looked really sweet there and I was so proud of her for protecting the crew and the ship, just the same as when Chopper did it recently. The voice actress did such a good job here of making her sound so genuinely sad at all of the fighting going on, bless her. Such a rare thing in anime. He says 650 of his men were captured years ago, but there's no time to explain things to her. You know, normal anime, he says he's in a rush, but we'll explain it all. I thought it was nice of Gon to leave behind his gauntlet with the built-in impact for her. So good that the father and daughter duo, now with the young girl, are going to meet back back up with this part of the crew here. I was so glad when she said it. It did make me laugh, but I was worried about waking my wife up whilst I wrote the script, and that kept playing. Few parts make up this win. Connis showing genuine concern for the lads, Nami making a threat to the kids, she really doesn't care too much, and them making an alternate route to safety for them. Real nice to have mentioned this now so long ago and to have kept seeing him work on it for this reveal. Tons of scenes of fighting that just look as though they were ripped right out of the beautiful manga pages. This could be the largest JoJo situation yet. He's got defense like Crocodile, but a much stronger offense so far. Even that didn't work. That was like a super big version of a lightsaber or something, cut through the friggin' entire tree. I know I should be impressed by the bad guy, but it's seriously difficult, moves so fast, extremely powerful attacks, and on top of that, seemingly cannot be damaged either. Amazing. Going slow-mo was a beautiful touch. My god, he let out such a powerful attack that it's only gone and KO'd not only his enemies, but his own allies too. The reveal that he can sense the voices the same as the girl can. Getting the rundown on how many of all of the groups are still left standing after 2 hours have passed. Luffy getting briefly hyped about finding some gold, but as soon as hunger kicks in, he becomes a grumpy kid. Says so much about Nami as a skillful person that she has mastered these things, including this one, now repaired since it's so much faster. Randomly, I thought this was such a nice little Oda never forgets moment, that the Going Merry is towing the Crow ship from before and now their new ship too. It's such a Luffy thing to grab a crown to put over his old hat and still be carrying around that stick down there. That food legit looking real good. Food isn't normally something that often stands out to me in One Piece, so well done. Also, take another here for Oda flipping between all of the characters so much. I really prefer that. First of all, I felt so genuinely sad when he got sad at the food all being gone. But also the animators making the food disappear piece by piece. So much easier to animate a pile not getting lower or even just getting smaller, but piece by piece is next level dedication. Oh, bless his heart, he just wants some grub. How he moves so damn quickly though! Shows how much I already care about Robin, very likely helped along by the filler episodes I covered when she first joined the crew, that this moment has me really on edge. Trust Oda to go wild and give her seemingly, on the surface anyway, simple ability, the power to properly defend against powerful attacks too. Her and I are of totally one mind on that front. It almost physically pains me when I see kids walking along a Roman fort's ancient walls near where I live or things like that. Not running away on the spot, but also that priceless history being wrecked. Really pleasant to see some more character growth from her and some backstory about how she felt to events that happened in the end of the last saga. It's painful to see all of the reckless damage taking place around her, but the win is actually for the real good-looking effects on all of the damage.
もうダメよ。反省したって許さない。
I don't know about you, but I thought that was really cool.
ここでな、存分に暴れていいわ。トレインタフルール
Finally, my girl can go all out in this battle away from the ruins, and what a zoom-in shot that was too!
牛みたいに突っ込んでくるだけ。
A simple but brilliant way of nullifying his attack. I just thought that was both a clever attack, but also a seemingly beautiful looking shot as she prepped it. I mean, is that not one of the best attacks we've ever seen? It's so simple. She used everything against him, including his own dials. I'm in love. I was worried for a second there as he grabbed her, but then she beautifully used her power to twist his hands free. Okay, she's now unlocked 2 max wins for that badassery in the 3rd degree. What a clever first big battle for her to win entirely by herself. Such great demonstrations of what she can do.
ひどいことするわ。
So cool. A whole bunch of semi not walking on the spots.
ここが最後の希望だった。そして外れ。
Oda is so good to be able to link her story via these 2 sagas thus far, the same way he's linking the wider story like Crocodile being replaced and all the world government stuff.
歴史を知りたいだけなの。私の夢には敵が多すぎる。
I really enjoyed this moment because to me it felt like she now feels like she can achieve her dream because she finally has proper allies backing her for the first time. Seeing the actual city in all its glory as Robin arrives in it, great view.
これが黄金都市。やっぱり広さも地形も全く別物。
Weird win, but seeing Robin being able to indulge in her love of history here made me feel very happy, oddly enough.
まさか。
Not running up the stairs on the spot. Seeing this whole site is wonderful, there's a ton of detail in it too, even at this distance. How these buildings look nothing like anything that's come before it, very likely inspired by Mayan pyramids, I would guess. Seeing this, I felt gave me a better understanding of how these cloud blocks actually work. I figured they weren't as dense as this. Also though, seeing yet another cracking good use of her powers, and also how it aids her in her work like this. Pretty sure I've said it before, but I don't think I'll ever get bored of her using her power. I love that tune, really reminds me of Hunter x Hunter a lot. Choosing to animate all of that! Simply gorgeous looking, especially the ones with the long panning shots, meaning the original image was hugely detailed to allow for you to pan over it. Also reminds me of playing the Uncharted games. Seeing the full size and scale and scope even of this huge place via this zoomed out shot.
まさか。こんなに無造作に。ポーネグリフの古代文字が。そうだわ。確かにここには巨大な黄金の鐘があると。
Slight rotating shot, but mainly it's all of the lore we're getting from this place without any of it being explained yet.
あいつらならなんとかするわよね。
Seeing these 2 lads being looked after was a nicely added moment to make me smile. Also taking the time to also show us what all of the others are up to.
真の歴史の本部、リオ・ポーネグリフかもしれない。
Easy win to end the episode here. Loved seeing her smile like she's finally getting somewhere after all these years. I can't believe I was being kept away from my baby Chop Chop for an entire episode and didn't even notice. Bless his little heart and soul for misunderstanding where this place would be so badly and climbing up here.
よ うわああいた黄金黄金
Just a few examples here of the incredible voice acting performances we get so very often from Otani Iku. God, she's so good! To be honest, I did forget about this guy. Just seems so unfair for Chopper to have to have fought 2 of the priests.
とにかく静かにしろ。
おっかなすぎるぞ
俺は今
嫌だぞ
人間の脆さを憂いている。
I'm a big fan of natural conversations like Chopper clearly speaking in the background. They do this kind of humour all the time in Konosuba to great effect. Love the at the end too. Her choice of clothing is nothing if it's not seriously unique looking. If this is the end of him, it's really well done with the hand just dropping off the verf there.
悪魔の実最強種ロギア家エネルがその能力者だなんて早く止めないと
Oh, look at that! The first reveal of how he gained his powers. Turns out not all fruit powers are born equal. Also though, I thought she looked real good here as well. The bird suppressing a laugh at Zoro, going full circle back to where the ship was originally.
すっげえとこに来ちまったなでがちはどこだ
Luffy has now added a 3rd hat to his hat trick. Chopper running like a madman through all the streets. First of all, that really shocked me. Didn't like seeing Chopper getting injured, and that's easily a win when an anime can evoke that response from me. It's in my gut, you know. But also the fact that his attack was able to spread over this long of a distance and catch him.
ここは生存率 0%。鉄の試練。
His ordeal has a freaking 0% chance of survival.
また声が消えた
I mean, she must be counting KOs or something, because obviously Chopper is going to be okay, but still worrying me like that.
ダメよもう
It's the return of the bikini top for Nami. This is not a drill. Oh, I get it. He's inside the snake. Not sure why that didn't occur to me.
いい加減にしないと撃つわよあんた泣いたってダメ
The worst thing is, Nami probably means it too. How come that shot looks so great though?
しぶとい。
I love how this whole event has become an absolute wrecking ball to the entire game going down, giving most people something of a much higher priority to contend with. Badass Nami! How Zoro looked when he dodged it right there. Also how it's legit bringing everyone together to a degree. Luffy is inside, it's here with Zoro, and Nami just escaped it. The bird is legit doing a maths equation in his head here. Wiper really is good. He was able to quickly sense this attack like no one else and dodge it.
神の社などもはや目指しても無駄である。カンホール。
Oh my goodness, I'm so in love with the story. Gun is now there, Wiper, a fallen Chopper, and one of the priests all together. I so cannot wait to see what's going to happen next.
惨劇全開しておったよ。もはやいらぬ長物だと、そういう意味であろうな。
I'm so confused. What does this even mean? What is Enel hoping to do? Did he wreck his own home to then go down there and beat everyone else? And then what happens after that? As if win number 5474 wasn't good enough already, Zoro has entered the chat. Yet another win, because not only is the snake on his way, but he's carrying Luffy. Such an incredibly badass moment, all of those super powerful people appearing in one place. That's one of the best endings to an episode in ages. Like, we've had some real good ones, but That was next level. Way to hype everyone up.
どうやらてめえか神に仕える神官とやらは神だの予言だの俺には興味のねえ話だな
How they did this shot, but mainly Zoro continuing to effortlessly be the coolest dude of all time. I freaking love how much detail they always put into him drawing or putting away his swords.
まとめて消えろ
This dude is genuinely annoying. It's almost like spite with him going after Zoro first. Like, it's so dumb because one day they will want to leave. They don't want to live in that forest. I ran out of room on the last twin, but I was gonna say I'm hyped the battle started, but he's also annoying attacking my boy. Anyway, Zoro's epic dodge and clearly being excited for the fight too. Times like this, Zoro continues to be one of my favourite characters ever. It's that he's a member of a crew of awesome people whilst being so insanely strong at the same time. I can never impress upon you how great I think it is that a weekly anime contains such high quality animation like this.
なんだこの犬の動きは
Such a weird win, but the dog tries to punch him? Very good how it's not two of them facing off, then another two doing the same. It's kind of all versus all, but obviously Gan and Zoro won't cross swords, luckily. Such a decent way of demonstrating for the first time how her mantra ability works. Oda didn't forget that her waver is way faster than normal ones, and so they're unable to catch him up. Is this not one of the coolest looking dodges in the whole anime? I'd almost forgotten he was up there, but that pained reaction from him was excellent and showed so much genuine care. The ordeal revealed. Zoro has now got hurt by a trap-reaching chopper. Out of this place!
いやそういう戦いの動機はあまり好きじゃねえ
He's such a unique guy. He's asked, do you want to get revenge for Chopper? And he says this.
ただ少し燃えてきた
If I've said it 100 times, I'll make it 101. Incredibly badass. Stupidly good-looking, fully zoomed-out shot showing pretty much the whole place the battle is raging, plus zooming on their ship.
威嚇にラッパを鳴らしましょうか。
そうですね、父上。心強いですから。
Like father, like daughter. They're obsessed with that bloody horn.
そっちを見張ってくれますか。
Ooh, a very diligent Usopp fox. Speaking of Usopp and his nose, they bandaged his hair.
うちのクルーなら大丈夫。よし、解放頑張りますからね。お二人ともしっかり。
Nami and her confidence in the crew's final victory in this place, but also Connors being a darling and helping to do her bit for them by looking after Usopp and Sanji here. Some legit great looking skating away from her. Such good damage animation, but even better than that is the super high impact of his weapon hitting the snake there. Meanwhile, poor old Luffy is being thrown about like crazy in what he still thinks is a cave. So good how Zoro knew something was coming moments before it even happened, as he's attacked with the same thing that caught Chopper totally off guard. Also though, that knockback animation looked fantastic there. That's a hard one for them to do in anime.
この刀の柄に仕込まれたダイヤルから追加される鉄雲により
I kind of figured Oda might be an end to what was possible via dials, and then we get this expanding, sharp yet light as a cloud sword with a built-in dial.
成しますぞ王母様
The battle is getting even more packed as these guys turn up now. It's like everyone is basically moving upwards bit by bit.
お前ら
Just as good, his boys have now turned up to help too. So packed! I really didn't expect that to cause laughter.
Nami!
アイサ娘仕留めろ
Oh my goodness, it just gets better and better as an ally to multiple people there turns up, both Nami and the girl. It's about freaking time all three of them leap in to save Nami and her. He continues to be such a moron. If Gan hadn't gotten there first, he'd have fried the girl because he gave her 1 second to get out of the way. Great plot twist. I swear this saga has just gotten better and better. This arc especially has gone from one level to the next. True to One Piece's anti-anime style to this point, the enemy sees a perfect chance to attack and takes it. No long chat beforehand or screaming or whatever. That was not at all what I expected from a normal looking arrow. This dog man. I can really begin to understand how deadly his ordeal is when he's able to create those attacks from pretty much anywhere up there. Imagine how I felt after writing the last win and then we're given this reveal moments later. This is the true power of his deadly ordeal. I may be reading into things, but what I took away from that is perhaps Zoro is confident he can slice through it. He's a jerk, but I gotta hand it to the guy. He totally scored a win for that nice attack, and of course, for not announcing it was coming. Happens so often in other anime. Once more, just a plain old-fashioned, good-looking scene of everyone. How Zoro basically put Gan on the same level there of needing to be rescued from the snake as Nami, who he mentioned just prior. Thought it was pretty cool showing these two as kids, making them feel more real as characters. A young Wiper also does a good job here of filling us in on their emotions for the homeland, how their people originally struggled greatly up there and then had their home stolen. Nice art style done on this flashback. But also because it shows us that he took training seriously. Well, they all did, all ready for this big battle. They really did improve so much on long distance animations through this arc especially. I found it the height of impressive. Not running to deliver a message on the spot.
Wiper.
Max wins. Her giving the message whilst he screams at her makes the viewer confused. Suddenly you hear electric and boom, he's there behind her. Wow. The worst thing is, you know why he's acting like this. It's because he knows what's about to happen to her, and for the first time, he's filled with panic. Guy is such a badass, he's hit by a dial attack from behind and barely moves his attention away from her. Another Max wins. Cutting the music was a real good choice. The slow-mo as it hits her, his entire facial performance done by the animators, and the flashbacks of youth, crazy good. Must admit, I'm glad the scene was done without the cliche "no!" which pretty much everyone else would do, I should think. A demonstration of how quickly he can move with his ability's power.
あれが神
Zoro obviously being mad at what he just witnessed. Some fairly nice examples of animation here as the fight begins once again, and I'm still shocked at Wiper trying to attack Zoro right away. He really doesn't change. Guess that's good. The bird protected the kid. See what I'm saying about the lovely animals in One Piece?
しかしお主らなぜ船におらぬのじゃ。
追いかけられちゃって逃げるしかなかったのよ。
Such a logical and sensible thing for him to ask her. God, I love how these lines of questioning were actually thought up by Oda when writing the story. The young lass pulling a grumpy Luffy face after being stopped from attacking him, and then he just smiles nicely at her.
捨てたいの？もう少し考えてよ。
いやジョークである。
That brilliant reaction of surprise and borderline fear from him after suggesting they cut through the snake. It's important to keep in mind it's likely super dark, so they can't see it's Luffy. Just we can, so I like the natural reaction of fear and going on the offensive like Gon does.
Nami! 変なおっさん！
Ah, he's so happy to see them.
そうか、そら大変だったな。えら蛇に食われたのか。だから。
That's in the top 10 Luffy silly goose moments. Totally glossed over how he was also swallowed by said snake and focused on it simply happening to them. So good.
肌を引っ張んだ。肌を。ザップのまで。
We got an Usopp reaction from Luffy, which means he left his nose elongated to do that.
じゃあここがあの上髪の胃袋の中なのか？俺も食われたのか？
Oh my word, now it finally processed in his head. It took so long. Also, though, their collective reactions to how slow he is, and yet he's their captain, was good too.
ああ、ぶっ壊して外出ようと思ってよ。このドバカ！
She asks if he was causing problems for the snake in here, and he says this so proudly, even though it's made the snake go crazy out there.
こいつの腹を裂いてやる。
Look at how well they do the impact there. Showing this because Zoro has learnt how to dodge it.
さあ、ついにフィナーレだ。
Oh, they really know how to end an episode, don't they? For me, this is where this saga is at its best, with its unique form of fighting style, so we get sights like these.
参ったな。あの神官が持ってる伸びる剣、厄介だ。来た。
Showing this one because I'm so hyped by this series of final fights, and I wanted to give so much credit to the animators who toiled away on it. Everything has been so high quality.
ポイズンウィップ。
One thing I praised ages ago but I found to be a little rare in the first half of this saga was environmental damage, but since the battle started it's everywhere and I love it.
おめえに用はねえよ。
How Zoro is still chill with these weaker foes, just more like swatting away a gnat.
ポイズンウィップ。
That right there is exactly what the win from Tubak was referring to.
ポイズンバック。
As if this dude wasn't powerful enough already, he can use his sword to create a giant friggin' shield. He then goes on to attack with the weapon in a huge variety of other ways. Even though his attack ended up being stronger, it was still sick to see Zoro manage another long-range attack, plus the animation of both of their attacks was real good. For some odd reason, perhaps due to prior fights, my confidence has grown in him simply because of the bandana.
三刀流108ポンド砲。
Zoro Zoro won the battle, too early to tell yet though, but I liked how his attack seemed a continuation of his prior training, maybe going back to Logtown. Gun continues to be a legend. This girl essentially still hates him, I'm guessing, yet he protects her from damage here, taking it himself instead. Another really clever way to use that ability, and it works an absolute treat. Long story short, he seems to have already forgotten about being inside the snake, and again, talks about a cave.
Nami! Oi, Nami! Shikari shiro! Nami!
That's a brand new one into the top 10 Luffy moments. He thinks she had died, and somehow immediately became a skeleton. The best follow-up being him telling her to hang on.
これは400年も前の話でしょ。この人がしたことじゃないんだし。
Nami makes such a great and very logical argument here. All of this stuff she's talking about happened a very long time before he was in charge.
誠に愛すまぬ。
He's been living with a rather profound sense of grief and regret over things that happened in the past, and he's clearly been trying to make things right ever since.
悪い奴らなんかじゃないわ。悪いのは他の民族と共存することを拒む心よ。
One thing I love about Nami is how she never tiptoes around her point. She just speaks clearly and plainly like here. Perhaps the most shocking event of all is that in spite of everything both of them said and Gan leaving himself wide open, true to his word, she really was going to go through with it here.
謝ってんだからよ。命取ることもねえだろ。
Luffy sounding so cool and calm here in his simplicity, as though he's merely stating a fact.
これはトロッコの騎乗。何かを運び出した。
Something so oddly thrilling about watching Robin walk through this city, figuring things out, going through her thoughts whilst coming across things like this.
先代のバカどもはこの都に気づきもしなかった。
あなたは
Needless to say, I'm extremely shocked to suddenly see him here all of a sudden. Small win, but it's actually pretty rare to see food being eaten and disappearing in anime. Always liked that.
大きな鐘の音が国中に響いたという。
Really, it's no wonder people thought this was an event brought about by a god. A giant piece of land appearing and a bell ringing out across their known existence.
じきにゲームも終わる。あと8分だ。
Super on edge to now learn what'll happen after those 8 minutes elapse.
良くなりますと、こんなに心優しい人たちが良くならないわけがありません。
This dude is straight up full of some of the best lovely statements. That was so nice.
あなたはもしや。
私は6年前ガンホール様と共に戦ったもの。
Oh heck yes, nice little twist there. I had wondered if there was no one left from those times who would still be on Garn's side, as we'd heard of people leaving, but had anyone stayed?
スカイピアは政界へ落とされる。この国はなくなるんだ。空に住む一切の人間を消し去る気なんだ。
Finally, his plan is revealed, and it's actually better than anything I could have imagined him doing. What a great twist!
我々は6年間その空飛ぶ船を作らされていたんだ。
Okay, so first of all, the whole twist is a god level one. We also got the reveal that he's had built a giant flying ship, and of course that he's using his power to attack like here, max wins. But then I also wanted to give one more because obviously the old man has been taken out and that's sad as hell. But before that happened, he shoved his daughter to safety. What a guy. Lastly, one more for the incredible ending, the best one in the saga to date. Darth Weirdo, Fiji, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Capan, Mini Masher, Marquez, Nozomi, Orkeeper, Otar Balanisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Creer, Brian Bayard, Cameron, Christian Tavasa, Commander Cyrus, David Mayer Olmos, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Aaron Winters, Guru, James Tafoya, Jor Edvinson, Kevin Halston, Cumfroy, Kylie Welp, Luis Benito, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Satoko Yari, Zionx 44, Sean, Starkip, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Ajoka, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Soul, Dante's Face, Dark Claw Bloody Soul, Devon, Dragon Defender, Iso, Francie, Garrett Vermeesh, Gibbs, Hooved Lowe's Ritter, Hunter Miranda, Isel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Jaffa 6263, Kai Wolfspring, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevin 102, Knuckle Duster, Kai 158, Kyle Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gugati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Matthew Blancett, Michael Lewis, Modaviram, Mudini, Mr. Fire Cool, Nathaniel Gregomosa, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, Novagown, 9028, Ollie the Mighty, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Q Flash, Chris Harris, Ryan DeVeries, Psychomi Aoram, Sarcastic Truth, Snowy, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, Thrasher 340, Will Sass, Willie Man.